Good morning, WLC, Wheel Life subscribers. I want to talk about training, daily training routine. Get up in the morning, had me some water, of course. I put away in my shirt, because I'm going for a 31 mile bicycle ride. I put away some gel. I use E-Gel. I'm not sponsored by E-Gel, but I've been using them for at least 10 years. And I find it not so gooey, not so overly sweet, and an excellent source of electrolyte, sodium, carbs, and potassium. I highly recommend that company. I really like it. So I threw away a couple. Threw in the back pouches of my shirt. One of those, not sponsoring another company, but I threw in some Cliff Bar, a Cliff Bar in there. I threw in an orange and a water bottle full of E-Gel mix. And or E-Fuel mix, and a water bottle just with water. I just returned from a 31 mile ride, and primarily I was using a 52-13. I had probably a 11 mile headwind on the first 15.5 miles, which I knew then I would have a tailwind. Training. One of the first things that I like to do when I return from a ride is grab my scale and check my weight. Alright, the first thing I like to do is 205. That's my weight. I'm 6'3", and I'm pretty happy with the 205. Secondly, I got a book. Computers can die out and change up. You could lose everything on them. What I like to do is put my daily activity in the book, and I put the weight, I put my time, I put the mileage, I put the conditions. Windy, 12 mile an hour headwind, kind of similar to that. Okay. Okay, let's see. Time today was roughly 1 hour and 22 minutes. And I say that roughly because I took a stop on the halfway point. I took a stop and I fueled up with a Cliff Bar, an orange, and I drank some more water. Interesting. I'm trying to do 31 miles a day with maybe 1 day a week off right now. And I'm doing it semi-hard. I'm developing speed right now. I've been doing Virginia City, and if you guys can look on the map, Virginia City, I will be doing another upload video on Virginia City and Nevada. I live near Virginia City, so I use that as my hill climb. It's about 6 to 7 mile. It's about a 6 mile actually, from the bottom, exact bottom, up to the top. And then I have one route that goes up to what they call Geiger Summit. It's another 5 miles from Virginia City to the summit, which is about 6,200 feet, down to 4,200 feet. Okay, so that's my climb. The bike I'm using right now is an old Merckx. And for training tires, I run always Continental. I like the Continental. This is a Gator hard shell. It's an older tire. 23 mm in the front. And I'm riding a Continental Grand Prix 25 mm for the rear. A little wider tire, it gives me more cushion. I think these Continental tires are the bomb. Of course, you're going to get flats no matter where you go, but I can actually say that I don't get many flats at all. They're a great tire. They last really, really well. So I'll tell you guys how many miles I can put on this tire. I'm taking a record of it. I am running Super Record Campy everything on this bike. Thumb shifters and record headsets, record brakes. I'm running a new CLE Italia seat. It seems to be a very good seat. It's a gel. It's a Max. And so far, so good. Gel, it's a Superflow. I kind of like it. Very comfortable, actually. And I'll do some talks on that one. Let's see. The computer. It's a Ciclo. Older system. And I am upgrading shortly, and I'll do a review on my new computer, which will be soon. I'm trying to figure out which computer, Oahu or Garmin is the two that I've narrowed it down to. 52 up front, and it's a Campy, of course, chainring, and a 39 inside. Okay, it's a great. I like the Super Record very much. It lasts very well. So, and I got a 11, 12, 13, and it goes up. Okay, so, yep, that's what I'm running on the Merckx Team SC. It's an older bike. I will upgrade one of these days. So, on my new channel, I'm talking about training. So, of course, the necessary things that you need is to, of course, when you get up in the morning, make sure you do your bodily functions. Stock up with gels and food in your pouches, and take off. Now, I gave it I usually run a big gear against the wind, and I do that for strength, only strength. And I feel that the only way to get stronger, of course, is to use a larger gear. And of course, when I turned around and came back, the wind was at my tail, and pretty much at my tail. I had a little crosswind. Excuse me. And like I said, I was doing an average of 28 to 30 miles an hour, 32 miles an hour, depending. A couple of downhills, small, easy downhills for a mile, which, of course, my average changes because of that speed on the way back. I felt really good. The sugars are in my body, and it's rebuilding the muscle, okay? And in order for you to go day after day and feel strong, you need to fuel that engine, your body, constantly, and with good foods, okay? For the most part, I cut back on all my meat at all. I don't eat heavy any longer. I'm eating a lot of greens, a lot of fruits, protein drink, and I'm bulleting spinach, kale, and chard, things of that nature from my own garden. And I eat a lot of veggies. And I recommend you guys do the same thing if you want to be strong. I'll be 63 next week, and I don't take any medicines, knock on wood. And I'm attributing this to starting at 18 years of age, pretty much. I haven't been an angel. I've had bouts where, of course, during college days, you drank crazily with your buddies and did stupid stuff. And, I ate like the rest of the people of the world. But for the most part, I stayed focused on healthy living. And I recommend that to everybody. Exercise, healthy living. Knock on wood. Of course, genetics does play some role in your health. Um, and, I don't know about that either because in my family, we've had cancer bouts. Brother died of cancer, sister died of cancer, father died of a heart attack early. The mother is not too bad. She's had problems with intestines, and of course that all goes back to eating habits. Um, I'm a big proponent for eating sauerkraut, probiotics, greens, and veggies, and keeping your intestine clean. And I'm also a proponent for water. And I have a reverse osmosis, and pretty much all the time I drink pretty clean water, removing most of the chlorine. Now, chlorine is not good for anything, I don't think. But in countries where, well, actually, it doesn't matter where you are. Um, you can eat well. It's as simple as that. Eating well is really, really important. Um, I've been loading up a lot of times now recently with uh, raw sugar in my water bottle. And there's a rider I'm going to talk to you guys about that I've seen and I watch. He's a vegan out of Australia, and that's Durian Rider. And I listen to some of the things he says, and he backs up things. And, I don't know how true things are. I'm not a scientist. I'm taking his word. Um, Actually, I did some of the things when I was racing back when I was younger. Honey and sugar was really key for energy, and it still holds true today. So now I'm using either molasses or raw sugar. Brown sugar is the best, or granulated sugar, raw, and unsulfured is even better. Um, and then mix, proportionately in your water bottles. As I'm using like in a 24 ounce, I think I'm using almost 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And let me tell you, it's pretty interesting how that affects your strength. And I recommend that to anybody. I really do. I'm not for sugars. I don't like sugar in the body. I mean, cancer loves sugar. But if you're burning energy the way, training and cycling, I would say, yeah, sugar's okay, only if it's for that purpose alone, and at any other time, no use. Stay away from the sugars. That's all I gotta say. Stay away from all sugars any other time than during hard exercise and rebuilding your muscle. That's my opinion. Anyway, so much for the training session today. It is Thursday here in Nevada. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you stay watching my channel. I'm going to be talking and giving reviews about different products here shortly, and talking about different tires, different tubes, maintenance, bike setup, and the like. And you can train along with me. And it only takes an hour and a half, for example, to do 31 miles. And the 31 miles, I mean, you don't need to go up massive hills. You don't. If you can find a route that has a few hills, rolling hills, but you give it a lot, okay? And this doesn't happen overnight. It takes weeks, 3 weeks to a month to develop any strength. Um, if you're new, it takes longer. If you're new with the sport, it takes much longer. Of course, unless you're young, and then maybe it won't take so long. But from my experience in the past, it takes a while to develop a base, okay? And set your goals small at the first and accomplish those goals. If it's a 10-mile ride, you do the 10-mile ride and you come back. If you're tired and beat up, that's fine. Rest a day. Do it again another day and go back and back. And set up your own barriers. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to do this 10 miles in 45 minutes, or I'm going to do this 20 miles in an hour. Okay, set up these times for yourself, and work with those for a while. And once you get those under your belt and you feel strong and you feel good, then you can bring up the mileage. And then, of course, you can do strength once or twice a week by doing some hill climbs. Definitely should get out of your saddle. I recommend getting up out of your saddle on hills, standing in your on your pedals, and pumping that way. What that does is alleviates pressure on your back, on your butt, of course, and it gets you used to standing out of the saddle. I really like people to get out of the saddle quite a bit and get used to that feeling, because there's going to be hills you need to get out of your saddle. Now, with that being said, of course, it's more efficient when you're on your drops and you're low against the wind, okay? And if you want speed, that's one thing. I'm talking about just a daily routine of getting out of your saddle now and then, taking the pressure off, standing up, getting the feel of it, doing a mile climb, standing out of your saddle. I really highly recommend that to anybody. Anyways, it's long-winded. Thanks for watching. Wheel cycling for life. I mean, wheel life cycling. I like the other one, wheel cycling for life. Yeah. Anyway, wheel life cycling, and more to come. I hope you guys will help me grow this channel. I'm going to keep it for a long time, and I'm going to show you guys. If you're really interested, I can talk to you guys and we can comment. I can actually help people become competitive, real competitive, as I was when I was younger. So thanks for watching, and we'll stay safe, everybody, and have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, hopefully.